Okay, it's going. So, hi, welcome.
Hi.
I'm Courtney, and I'm going to be your therapist today. What's your name?
Courtney.
Excellent. Love it. So, I'm going to be asking you some questions today to gather some information so we can figure out where to go from here.
Yeah.
And we have about a half an hour to talk today, so hopefully you'll be comfortable telling me everything I need to know in that amount of time. And before we begin, I just want you to know that what you tell me will be kept confidential unless it has to do with harming yourself, harming others, abusing certain parts of the population, or if the information is subpoenaed for legal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to be writing some stuff down throughout our meeting today, so that's all you need to know.
Okay.
So before we get into too many deep questions, can you tell me how old you are, what you're doing? Are you in school? Are you working?
Yeah, I'm 20. I'm a junior at Emmanuel. I have two jobs, so I'm a tutor for the ARC. I tutor a psych class, and then I also work at the front desk of St. Anne's.
And do you live on campus?
Yes.
And do you live by yourself, with a roommate?
I have a roommate, yeah.
So I'm gonna think if you're a roommate on campus, you're not married.
Correct.
And what ethnicity do you feel you're a part of?
Caucasian.
And are you in any particular religion that you're involved in, or?
No, I've never really been religious. Yeah.
Okay. And so why are you here today? What made you feel like you needed to come in and talk to someone?
Well, I'm going home soon for the semester, and that always kind of stresses me out because I don't really like going home. So I just kind of want to figure out how to deal with that a little bit better.
So why don't you like going home? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I live in Maine, and there's just like not much to do there, and I'm not really friends with anybody I went to high school with, so I basically just like hang out with my family or like don't do anything, so it's just kind of boring, and I prefer to be here doing things with my time than being at home and not doing anything.
So speaking of your family, what was it like? Are you close with your family members?
I'm close with my immediate family, but not really my extended family. We're just all kind of all over the place.
So it's not because you don't like each other, it's because you're more spread out?
Well, not like geographically, like we all live in like Maine, New Hampshire with a couple exceptions, but just, I don't know, we just aren't really very similar. So it's like my family's very different from like the rest of my mom's family, the rest of my dad's family. So we just we only get together like once or twice a year usually with them.
And who is in your immediate family?
My mom, my dad, and then I have a sister. She's 22.
And what's her name?
Cassie.
Do you get along with her?
It's kind of backwards because she like wants to be my best friend, but I'm sort of resistant to it. Like we get along, but she likes to talk a lot and I don't, so it's just overwhelming, and I tend to prefer my alone time usually. It's gotten better since we've grown up and both moved out of the house and stuff, but it's still a little annoying sometimes.
That makes sense. How about, so you said you don't have a lot of friends at home now. How about when you were younger? Did you have a lot of friends?
Yeah, I pretty much had the same group of friends from like elementary school through high school, and then my senior year of high school we kind of stopped being friends, and I only had a couple close friends. But
did you stop being friends like earlier in your senior year, or like after graduation when you all knew you were going to be like split apart?
It was probably like halfway through my senior year, because like I didn't really see them in school a lot because we just had different classes and stuff, and then they all started like drinking and going to parties and stuff like that, which just wasn't my thing. So I kind of just hung out with my boyfriend at the time, and then my friends who also didn't drink or anything like that. And I knew I didn't really want to stay in touch with them when I went to college, so I was like, I don't need them. And then I come home, and then I wish I had people to talk to.
What about the few friends you did keep in touch with during high school? Are you still in touch with them at all, or is it just kind of like not so much?
I see one of them when I go home now. Sometimes we've gotten kind of different. We always like make an effort to see each other when we go home, but other than that, not really. No.
Okay. And how about here at school? What are your friends like?
It took me a little bit to get like a good group of friends, but I think I have that now, and I really enjoy spending time with them.
And what do you do with them? Are they from clubs? Are they just because you live near them? How are those relationships built?
I've met a lot of my friends just in classes and stuff. And then one of my best friends, I was an orientation leader here for 2 years, and she was one of my students, and we just like really got along, and now we're like best friends. So what we like to do, just kind of like going to meals or going out to eat somewhere or going for walks, like kind of low-key things, shopping, things like that.
And you mentioned you have a roommate. Are you close with her, or was that
not particularly. I went random this year, so because I've had like okay experiences with roommates, but nothing special, so I figured I would trust the system for once. And she's fine, like easy enough to live with, but we aren't like friends or anything.
Okay, and how about, you mentioned a boyfriend in the past. Do you have a boyfriend now?
No, I don't.
What was your relationship like with your past boyfriend or boyfriends?
They're usually good. I think I kind of put a lot more stock in the relationship than they do, and I kind of idolize the relationship, I guess. So that's usually, I think, what ends up breaking it up, is just like I cling on too much, and then they're just like, whoa.
Okay. And so you're in school,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a junior. What are you majoring in?
I'm a psychology major.
And do you have any other academic interests?
I'm a math minor, too.
Those are very different.
Yes.
Why did you pick those two?
Well, when I came to college, I was between psych and math for my majoring, and I didn't know which one I wanted to do, and then I realized I didn't want to do math for the rest of my life, so I was like, I'll do a minor because I'm good at it, and I kind of resent myself for it now, but it seemed like a good choice.
Do you resent yourself for that?
It's just like a lot of work, and I know I'm not going to use it, so it's just kind of,
Okay.
it's hard to motivate myself to do it. Like, I've met a lot of my like best friends in those classes, so it's worth it, but it's a lot to deal with for a minor.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you said you're you said you're a tutor and you work at the front desk,
Yeah.
and you have been an orientation
Right.
leader. Have you had any other jobs on campus or at home?
Not really. I haven't, since I've been doing orientation, it kind of sucks up like a really odd chunk of my summer, so I haven't really been able to work while I'm at home. So it's pretty much just been those things since I've been here. Yeah.
And do you like each of those positions?
Yeah, I do. Orientation was like the greatest thing ever. But I'm studying abroad in the spring, so I can't do it again, which I'm very upset about. And then tutoring is good because I really like the class that I'm tutoring for, so it's kind of nice to be able to like share what I know about the class like to those people. And then working the front desk is just, I get paid to do my homework, and I can't complain about that.
That's good. Okay. So that's given me a little bit of a picture about you and your social life and what you've been doing. How about with a mental health history? Have you had any past problems with mental health?
I've never been like diagnosed with any kind of mental health issues. I've dealt with depression on and off since I was like 13, like 8th grade sometime. But I've never like really done a whole lot about it. So.
Okay. So like you've never been on medication for
Right.
it? Have you had any kind of therapy for it in the past, or?
I went to counseling once, and I guess it was probably just an intake interview or something along those lines. And I was really nervous to go, and I didn't have any like particular problem that I wanted to talk about. I just kind of felt like I should, because I should have gone in the past or something. So I wanted to see what it was like. And I ended up leaving a lot more stressed than I was when I got there. So I just didn't want to go back.
Okay. And if no hospitalization for mental health either. Okay. So what made you feel like you were depressed? Like, what was the feelings that were part of that?
I don't really know. It's like I've been trying to pinpoint it for a long time, and I really can't. But I think it's just like I was going through puberty, and like everything was kind of changing in my life for those reasons, and I just had low self-esteem. And then I also danced my whole childhood, and then when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, my sister started dancing, and I went to a really small dance company, so by the time I was in 8th grade, she was in my dance class, which I really didn't like, and I quit dance after that year because it was too much, and that was like, I wanted to be a dance teacher my whole childhood, so it's like difficult to kind of give up on that and move past it, I guess. So I think that was most of it.
Okay. So you said when you were in high school you didn't want to be friends with people who were involved in different substance uses, but since then have you chosen, no judgments or anything, but have you become involved in any substance uses? Alcohol, cigarettes?
No, I'm actually like, I don't really have many opinions on like cigarettes or anything like that, but I'm really like adamantly against drinking, I guess, which I think just stems from my high school experiences and stuff.
Okay, and how about other drugs? Marijuana, cocaine, heroin,
No.
stuff like Molly?
No.
No? Okay. And how about, have you had any trauma or loss in your life in the past or recently?
Not really. Like, what do you mean by trauma?
Like any accidents, car accidents, maybe fires in your home or somewhere where you spend a lot of time, stuff like that.
No, not really. Yeah.
And how about, have you suffered from or have experienced any physical abuse?
No.
Sexual abuse? How about emotional abuse?
I've been in some not great relationships, but like I don't know if it would be like totally classified as abuse.
And like boyfriend relationships?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay. 'Cause sometimes, what about like friends?
No, I'm usually fine.
And so you mentioned earlier that you had a bit of depression or felt depressed when you were younger. Did you ever have any suicidal thoughts then or currently?
Not currently. I think when I like first kind of started, I didn't really get it, so it wasn't like anything serious. I knew I wouldn't do anything, but I kind of like thought like, what would it be like if I weren't around anymore? Things like that. But I knew I wasn't gonna act on it.
And how about any, like, have you ever been really angry at someone and wanted to hurt them, wanted to kill them, anything like that?
No, I mean, like, I fight with my sister sometimes, or at least I did when I was growing up, but never anything, like, crazy.
Okay. And have you ever had any legal issues, any arrests or interactions with law enforcement?
I got a ticket once, but that was it.
Okay, and is there anything else you'd like to talk about today? Anything that springs to mind?
Not really.
Do you want to tell me more about other things that could be stressful in your life? Because I know that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Other than just the stress of going home, is there anything that adds to that?
Well, right now I think it's just that, like, I'm thinking about that, and then I have, like, all the finals and classes and papers and everything, and then I'm also studying abroad in the spring, so I'm, like, simultaneously doing that, worried about going home, and, like, figuring out how to get a visa, and, like, how to pack up my life and move it across the world, and things like that. It's just a lot going on all at once.
Why did you decide to study abroad?
I've just always wanted to travel, but my family is never, like, my family's just not really into traveling, and we don't have a lot of money to travel. So I was like, I've known since I was in high school that I was going to study abroad when I got to college because it would give me a chance to, like, travel at least this one time, like, for an extended period of time so I could be satisfied and just kind of move on with my life afterwards.
Okay. Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming today.
Yeah.